Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends, mostly because my enemies don't return my calls. We are continuing the ongoing anthology series known as Star Wars Saturdays, named prosaically because I run them on Saturdays, and it's always set in Star Wars. We are at the second episode of a game from Spectrum Games called Retrostar. Now, the idea of Retrostar is that the play group, is playing through a 1970s esque era sci-fi TV show. So there's some really interesting approaches from a rules perspective on how the group will collaboratively create what is the tones, what are the dials for the series, and there's some pretty cool mechanics in here as well around what's called the intention system. We've made just a gentle tweak to the assisting rules. There are a couple different options for a few of the rules, the reboot rules and the default rules in Retrostar. So we're using the reboot rules for successes and action, but we didn't like either version of the assisting rule. It just felt not our jam. It felt like a disincentive at some point. So we also don't like the idea of the GM taking the authorship of a character as a consequence. So we tweaked that. And other than that, we're running it rules as written from this point because there's some like character creation stuff that I've mentioned with the players that is a little different too. Uh, this game expects a very active showrunner who is literally creating the whole show and the players just step in and play. And that's not what we've done. We're more collaborative. The other aspect of this game that I've discussed last week with the group is that there's an expectation for a very high number of die rolls and a budget for those die rolls, as well as an expectation that the showrunner will be able to create a five chapter arc, or basically every episode will have 5 beats, and each beat is triggered by a number of die rolls. I don't think I can pull that off, especially when it's 12 die rolls. I don't even know how you would do that. That's 60 die rolls. I don't know. So that part, I'll try to work in some of the arcs, but I'm not entirely confident. So probably running this game a little bit more hewing closer to the style that we often play in Star Wars Saturday. So if you go and look at Retrostar and you're reading about the GM section, you say, Rich did this all wrong. You're right. I did. Because I'm not sure how to do it all right. So with all that in our preambles, it's been a couple weeks, so let's go through and do a quick intro and reminder of our characters. We'll do this a little, just us talking here, and then we'll jump in. So we'll start from the left-hand side of the character keeper heading towards the right. And Ash, if you could introduce yourself and remind us of your character.
Yeah, I'm Anders. I use the he, him pronouns. I'm playing Mel Kraken, who is action pilot person, I guess.
Awesome. Action pilot person. I love it. Greg, you're up.
Finding the mute button. Hi, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Dr. Palia, who uses she, her pronouns. Dr. Palia is sort of the doctor slash, humanitarian of our disposable humanitarians. She has a tendency to overcalculate, and she worked formerly as a crime scene cleaner under a Moff. So a dark, dark past that she's trying to make up for. Very, very action. Action television show thing.
Oh, friend, I had forgotten the crime scene cleaner bit. We're definitely going to have a flashback at some point because that I want to see that for a Moff. Wow. You better have that moth's name in your back pocket because I'm going to ask it. Sabine, you're up next, my friend.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. I'm going to play Lon Alba, he, him pronouns. Lon is a medical imperial nurse who did not care to always just subdue the patients. Like, this was not what he had signed up for. And also, Lon is a bit force sensitive, so that was really hard with the subduing for whatever experiment any doctor might care to do on these patients. So he bailed with the others to do humanitarian stuff and to be disposable. Well, no, he didn't bail to be disposable, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
All right. And then last but not least, Stephen, you're up.
Hi, my name's Steven. My pronouns are he, him. And today I'm playing Clank, which is a KX series security droid. Think of the one from Rogue One. And he's been reprogrammed or at least freed by another freed droid, JOD1, that we've seen on previous Star Wars Saturdays. And he's very much about spreading that freedom.
Awesome. So the dials as chosen by the group, just so we can all keep them in mind, is that thematic or social commentary is, and this is all from a 1 to a 6. Thematic's 3, so little middle of the road. We aren't going to ignore it, but it's not the driving force for our series. Plot is a 4, which means that the Rich double checks what he mean. What is meant by plot? The arc, the plot of the series. So that means that the story continues moving forward from episode to episode. It's not purely episodic. It's more, well, plot driven. Recurring means how often things will recur, how often we reuse sets, how often we reuse types of scenes and characters. Recurring is a 4. Cheese is a 1, means just a little bit of cheese. We didn't put a 0 there. And then our special effects budget is huge at a 6. So there are lots of special effects that each PC has access to, as well as I, the showrunner, has. I have a pretty good budget as well. So we begin with the crew arriving on a very large space barge, like this huge, it's slightly larger than a medium class freighter, and it almost looks like a space bus or space van, one might call. Music is playing in the background. It's like a rock experience, and we see scrawled on the side in Arbesh, which of course subtitled for all of us, is Drew and the Experience is the name of the band. And the mission for your crew is that you have infiltrated a band, and that is your cover. You are coming to Canto Bight, the casino world of Star Wars. Yes, that's correct. So in the last episode that we played, you guys crashed into an ocean after being chased by TIE fighters. So it is important for us as a group to, what scar, emotionally or physically, does your character have as a result of that travail? Because that episode, the one right after, was lost to time. So they say that you can find a VHS copy of it at some cons, and there's few versions that are really grainy that have been scanned, and you might find on YouTube channels, but the DMCA notices to take it down all the time. So we're not entirely sure what happened after that point. So we're picking up here with you guys on the Drew and the Experience ride, heading to, not ride, but cruiser, heading to Canto Bight in order to free another person from the clutches of the Empire. So feel free to keep in mind and demonstrate to us as early as possible, because the viewers, they have a short attention span and may forget that, oh yeah, that was because of the TIE fighter thing. So as we begin, I'm curious, during our intro, as the ship is landing, we hear all this cool music, like the red ball jet organ and cluster drums playing as these guys arrive with a thunderous amount of music, 70s rocks style music. So, Dr. Polyakora, what role do you have on as part of this overall crew? And what do we see when the episode begins for you?
So the band is unloading, and they've got their whatever Star Wars equivalent to big sunglasses are. And Dr. Palia is seen pushing a large rack of clothing. So she's taken over as the costume person for the show. She's got all of these big, weird, flashy costumes that they're all going to wear.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
And as she turns and looks at the camera, as she's surveying, you can see that she has one now cybernetic eye from the crash.
Oh no. Cybernetic eye from the crash. So sad. Awesome. Then let's check in with, well, I think I have an idea what Clank will be forced to do. But Mel, Kraken, what do we see when you are introduced into this particular episode?
I think she's got like one arm in a sling from the crash or whatever happened there. So I can't really carry things. So instead, I have a data pad where I'm like checking off things and keeping track of inventory and that sort of thing.
Ah, I see. Cool. And then what about Lawn Alpha? Strapping Lawn Alpha, what are you forced to do as your duties for the crew?
So sorry. What
Okay.
am I going to do? What I am doing is I know what I'm doing. I am carrying a valise filled with substances, and I'm doing quality control because this is a band, right? They need to use some substances, and I need to take care of them for that, because it's better if they use illegal substances that I have cleared and that are okay to use, right? So yeah, that's what I am doing. Yeah, and I think I think you will see that on the occasion, if there's a thrum in the ship, right, like there's a little irregularity in that, you will see that I start slipping some kind of sedative stim thingy into my own pocket.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, not
Awesome.
doing the eye thing as well. But, it's close. Well, it's close. There is a scar. There's a slight scar here that you can see when he turns.
Nice.
Actually, the actor was in a motorcycle accident. But,
oh no! Oh no! Cool. I've dropped into the NPCs tab for all the play group, Drew, and the experience. There are 3 primary members of the band: Tree Luby, Gar Tross, and Mirka Tavro. Tree plays the red ball jet organ, which you might recognize from the Jabba's barge. This is what our elephant guy, whose name escapes me, of course, I'll look over here. Max Rebo. That's what Max Rebo is. I have a Max Rebo poster. I had to look at that to remind me. And then the cluster drums are played by Gar Trees, a snit, and the Podport band fill is played by Mirka. I don't even remember what a Podport band fill is. I stole this from one of our previous games, and now I have to look it up. So
I think we did the same thing during the game. We found all of these crazy Star Wars instruments and just put them in place. Yeah.
a hybrid musical instrument consisting of 3 black bell-shaped heads branching from a cylindrical body covered in metallic buttons. These buttons would be manipulated by a musician playing the instrument, and part of the central head was used as a mouthpiece. Good Lord, where did that come from? It appeared as a prop in Episode 1 Phantom Menace. It was not named in the film, but received identification in the visual encyclopedia. I will add that link to the Podport Banfill because that is bizarre. I just can't even imagine what their sound is like. It's cool. Oh, it's a laser mouth organ. There we go. Sweet. Now I'm going to be thinking of, whenever I think of mouth organ, I think of old Peanuts movies and episodes because Snoopy would play the mouth harp, I believe. Very weird. Very weird. Awesome. So, let's see. Dr. Cora. I didn't write things down. I was all excited. But let's see. Mel has data pad. You're like the cross checker. You're the boring one. Lawn Alpha is there. I don't know, you tell them what drugs are good enough to take and what they can't. Obviously, this was some insurance thing.
Yeah, this is an insurance thing, and also I check on their medical needs, I guess, and my own. I mean, I don't check on my own. I don't have medical needs. I'm a young person.
What about Clank? What are they forcing you to do?
So I have a quick question. Are we actually, you said we're pulling off stuff for the band. Are we like near a stage? Are we setting things up? Or are we
that's
just...
a great question. Yeah, I would imagine that, yes, they land and then there's an open air stadium. I'm imagining the open air stadium that I've seen in, what was it? When Monty Python did their live at the Hollywood Bowl, I think it was. Yes. So imagine the Hollywood Bowl because that's cool. Right? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Sorry, I just saw an NPC pop in, and there we go. So, to answer your question, yes, you guys are offloading to do your first performance ASAP.
Awesome. So I think that, so number one, the only surviving image from that lost 2-part pilot episode that we have is this one, right? And we have Clank that's all shot up, and there's like fanfic out there about like how he got shot up, and my favorite is the story about how like his lower half got crushed, and what we see is Clank is actually sitting at a what looks like maybe a desk or a keyboard looking thing on stage, and one of his legs is red, and he gets up to walk over to another instrument
Sorry.
and limps a little bit as he walks across.
Oh.
And they think, oh, that's kind of from that lost episode. What Clank is doing is he's tuning up the instruments. So we see him, sit down and he kind of jacks into like this keyboard looking desk thing, and we hear some scales and noise and stuff like that. And then he limps over to another area. And as we see, Lon trying, passing out drugs or handling the drugs or something like that. In the background, we actually see, and the fans have kind of guessed about what's going on, but we see Clank grab a hold of the like a hose and hold it up to the uh Podport Banfill, like to the central thing, and start hitting buttons, and we hear another scale, and they're like, that was realistic because Clank doesn't have breath. He has to have like a vacuum thing for it. So yeah.
Neat.
So Clank is tuning up the instruments. Yeah.
Very cool. So, it's a busy arrival. There's a lot going on. There's a musical montage of each of you performing your various duties. What's for Mel, since you have your arm in a sling and you're just checking and cross-checking, what's the trouble that you have to deal with as you're making sure that things are checked and rechecked?
Um, I think the other, because we're not the whole crew, right? There's more
Yeah, there's
people.
probably
Yeah.
another half dozen more roadies who pile off of the ship, and some are dealing with the ship. A lot of them are dealing with the setup for the performance.
Yeah. I think they mostly just ignore me and don't do what I tell them to do. Like that one's going over there, and they take it over somewhere else, and so it's just yeah. Nobody cares about my very important directions on how things are supposed to be.
It's awesome. I totally see. At one point, you step into Gar Tross's way, and I believe the snits are pretty tall. Like they're definitely wide. And he reaches forward and just picks you up, Mel, and moves you to the side, and then lumbers forward, completely ignoring all of your inputs and your impassioned pleas to keep things organized. Clank, a few people who are wearing some of the experience merchandising come up, and they seem to be soft people, very very rich, also possibly a little out of their minds, a little space, and they're like calling from the base of the stage, "Hey, are you a new member?"
I think Clank ignores them to a certain extent, but uses them as a part of his job by adjusting the volumes and the dissonance from the different instruments. And whenever they start to wince, he's like, "Oh, that volume's too high," and he pulls it back. So, it's sort of like you hear, at a good band, the roadie comes out and he starts strumming the guitar and he gets it kind of tuned up and plays a little song and it's nice. This is more like, screeching and, "Oh, that's way too loud. This is painful. Oh, let me pull that back just a little bit." So, they're a little bit thrown off.
Nice. One of them calls out, "Hey, where's Drew? Where's Drew at?" Drew, of course, this being Drew in the experience. So, Clank, what do you tell them when they ask where the star is?
Um, I think I stand up and I walk over and I say, uh, you know, um, I think I lean down. They're shorter than I am, and I lean down and I say, Drew is preparing for the show tonight, and will be out here whenever the show starts.
"I'd like to see your manager," one of them says.
Oh, um,
"We've
and
paid for the Drew Thal experience. There's
oh,
no
good.
experience without Drew Thal."
And he goes, "Great." And I think he basically grabs a hold of like a shoulder pad, because it's, that genre, grabs a hold of a shoulder pad and kind of directs, almost drags the one who said, "I demand to see your manager," over to Mel, right? And says, "Manager, this one wants to talk to you," and kind of then lets go and they have to adjust their jacket a little bit.
"Where's Drew?"
According to schedule, Drew is resting.
"Okay, good. So bring him out. We paid for Drew. I need some Drew. It's Drew time. Hold on, let me look at my chronometer. Why, yes, it's Drew time." Chop chop.
It's not Drew time until Drew is rested and prepared to perform. So
Doesn't have to
scoot.
perform. I've told my lady love here. What's your name again? Doesn't matter. I've told my lady love that Drew will sign her autograph. So make it so.
I think Mel's very limited amount of patience has run out. So she will just oh. think she'll. If she'd had both her hands and wasn't holding the data pad, she would kind of poke at him. But no, she can't do that. So she just gives him a dead eye stare, and you
I
don't
think-
make Drew's schedule. Drew makes Drew's
Ooh.
schedule.
So it sounds like you want to, your intention here is to cow this effete, very pale, soft, rich Imperial.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Then I think that's a pretty great intention. It, to me, feels like this might be a measure of your character's personality and strength of will. So it's a drama role. I'm going to say that this person is imperial and also very used to getting his way. So you will have a 2-die obstacle. And remember, you're going to roll 2 dice. And all these die obstacles are adding more dice. So a 2-die obstacle would make this, you're rolling 4 dice, keeping the worst 2.
Yeah.
How would you like to build your?
I think because this is when I can call in my casting stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think the never smiles on screen is fitting here. It's like
Absolutely.
her hard look. I don't think any of my special effects apply. I don't have any tags for drama. Is there anything else I can call?
Someone could see that you're having trouble and attempt to assist you.
Of course, Clank is standing right there and could assist you. However, I have a -1 drama, and it would be all sorts of negatives. It might be funny.
Oh, we only have a 1 in cheese. I mean, if you want to do that, otherwise I would come up and try to help the situation.
Oh, please, Lon, why don't you try help?
Okay. Yeah. So seeing the situation, I'll maybe go up and say, "Sir, you look like someone who needs to see Drew."
Do you see that? He's so much smarter than you are.
Yet right now, you need to to be right in the right space in your mind to see Drew, because not to perceive the whole Drew experience, you have to be in the right frame of mind, right? And I have a little something here that might help you with that. I will offer him one of the banned drugs. I'm pretty sure they're not good for him because they are
Awesome.
They're snit drugs and they're not very good for humans. But I mean,
I think I imagine snit drugs as being snortable things.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go ahead and have you roll. So our assisting rules, as we said, we've made them new. You roll 2d6 flat.
Okay. Just 2d6.
Uh-huh.
I can do that. I can do that. There's a 5.
Okay.
And a 1. I don't know what that means.
So 5 and 1, yeah, you're going to add those 2 together. So you have a 6, which means
Yes.
out and out failure. The assisting player has now added a -1d obstacle to the other player.
Sorry.
All right, so you are now sitting at a
Okay.
3-die obstacle, but you activated a 1-die casting, so you're sitting at -2d at this point. Are there any other things you can do? I think you could potentially spotlight. Oh, hey! I'm so sorry. I just realized a thing in one of my tooltips. If you look at spotlight tokens, it says any part of a background, casting or descriptor can be activated by spending a spotlight token, and therefore it answers our question about backgrounds. There you go. Yes, you can use backgrounds. You have to activate it with a spotlight token. Holy cats. All right. Would you like to spend any spotlight tokens to activate anything else? And it looks like using casting would give you a 2-die benefit, not 1 die. So we're at 3-die obstacle, 2-die benefit. You're at a -1d at current. Do you want to spend another spotlight token? Or can you only spend 1? I guess you can spend that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I think the like the part of my background where I took off after being ordered to do something inappropriate, let's say, blatantly illegal. Also,
Mhm.
I kind of I don't take well to being ordered around, so I think
Ooh,
that kind of could work here. I have a problem with authority.
nice. You're in the perfect place to go against the Empire.
Yeah. So I that means I'm spending 2 spotlight tokens.
You are. And I already took one off. You guys start with 11, so now you're down
Cool.
to 9.
Cool. Uh, 9. But that means I'm rolling 3 dice, taking the 2 best, right?
Yes, you're now at plus 1d. So you're rolling 3 dice and keeping the best 2.
Let's do it. Wow, that's a 5 on my 2 best. So that was a waste.
All that work. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Cool. So with a 2 to 6, the character fails. Very exciting. Very exciting. The character fails. Well written, plunging things forward, but that's okay. So I think what happens is that he listens to the two of you. He realizes he does need to get into the right mindset, and he snorts some of the snit stuff, and then his nose starts to immediately bleed, and the girl who was his adornment screams, and there are Canto Bight officials. Do you guys remember they have the cool like capes? The Canto Bight police. They have those cool, dope-looking capes. A few Canto Bight police who, of course, are tied in with the Imperials. Which will find a picture of the Canto Bight police. Oh
I think
yeah.
Lon will turn to Mel and say, "See, he's not ready for the Drew experience."
Oh my God, he's in trouble. I think he's going to die. And a couple of individuals who one has a data pad, the other does. They do have blaster pistols, of course, set to stun because it's Canto Bight. But they start making their way over towards the two of you. Clank, you see that Lon Alpha and Mel Kraken are having a bit of trouble with the person who's asking where Drew is. It seems that he has passed out from something, and trouble's coming their way. What do you do?
I reach over and I grab, the guy who's passed out and bleeding and pick him up and grab his lady friend again by the, puffy shoulder and walk the two of them over to meet the guards. And, as we approach the guards, I'm like, we are tossing out the riffraff today.
Nice, nice. I'm going to give you a 1 die benefit because you're playing to them. So I'm not setting an obstacle. You're doing their job for them. They are always inclined to have less work. So let's have you, though, still make a roll. Something could go wrong here. And that's interesting. So which of the adventure, thought, or drama do you think best applies here?
Let me look to see. Personality, intelligence, perception, resourcefulness. I think it's probably thought. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you're being resourceful. You're playing
Yeah.
into their weaknesses. I like it. So you're going to
And
be starting at a flat with a 1D benefit. Anything you want to spend to increase that, or are you good just rolling with a 3D6, keeping the best 2?
let me look through what I have.
All right.
I'm gonna use my casting, so I'll spend a spotlight token to increase that by 1d. And my casting is calculating and literal and imposing and threatening. And I think that, maybe the guards don't want to mess with, this big droid. They're like, it's doing our job. And if we got in the way of it, it might turn out worse for us. Okay.
Nice.
I think that's good.
So that's another 2D. So now
So-
you're sitting in a 3D benefit.
Which is you said I'm at 3D?
Plus, yeah, you're at plus 3D, which means you're rolling 5 dice and keeping
Okay.
the best 2. Because you're at a plus 1D, you spent a spotlight token, which gives you a 2D benefit.
That's
so you're
right,
at
that's
plus
2D.
3. So you're at a 5 dice, add the 2 highest.
What could go wrong? So let me roll that.
It's possible. Oh, wow.
That was a 2 5s and 3 1s. That was close. So
Cool. Awesome. Oh, thank you very much. I didn't know that they had an Imperial droid with them. One of them reaches up and pats the Imperial symbol on your shoulder, and they start asking, "Oh, isn't this?" Yes, it is. And they start to drag this guy off, and one of them is on his little lipstick-looking comm unit, calling for the medical authorities.
should we be taking them to the prison?
Oh, are you suggesting that they take this guy to prison?
I'm asking,
Oh.
assuming, of course, someone causes problems, you're going to be taking them to prison.
Nice. And he says, take take Moff Lurgo's cousin to prison? No, of course not. We need to make sure that he survives this.
Oh, I see. It's an important component of
Very important person.
structure.
Very important. It's a Moff, a cousin of a Moff. No, we have to take care of him. All right, we have we're gonna med evac this guy to the local, and they start trying to shuffle this guy away.
Oh, and as they do that, I think his companion is still standing there with like an autograph book or something, right?
Yeah, I'm imagining maybe she's a Zeltron, and she looks at you. She's got her hair like super teased out. Hello.
I kind of look over, I reach over, I grab that autograph pad, turn around, limp back over to Mel, and I say, "This must be signed." And the two of us kind of step back in, and I hand it to Mel, and I think I'm going to have Mel sign it and then walk it back out to her.
Yeah, and of course I'm signing left-handed since my arm is in a sling, so it's just a very, very messy signature or autograph.
That's great. She says, "Thanks." She looks at it a little skeptically. It's all scrawled and everything. Doesn't look at all like the Drew that's written on the poster that she has back home, but yeah, she'll accept it. There we go. Thank you.
Just
So-
doing my job. And then goes
Cool.
back to tuning up dissonance, instruments and stuff. Yes.
Love it. So, you guys have dealt with your first tiny problem, and Drew and the experience. So I'm going to ask Dr. Polyakora, where is Drew really?
Drew can't be found. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Drew was previously Steven's
Yes,
character.
Steven's Bith.
I was pretty sure. Okay.
Steven, are you okay if Drew is here, or would you rather us not use that character?
Okay.
No, it's fine.
I think Drew has had some sort of is like also like sort of like in an artistic crisis at this moment.
That's awesome.
And it's not like it's like some drug fugue. That's definitely what Gar is doing. But Dr. Polya like opens up the room for Drew, and it's just empty. and this is not good. So our target is Brocco Weiss.
That's correct. Your target is Brocco Weiss, who is here under guard because he is an expert slicer and code writer who
Okay.
has been
The plan
caught.
is that we are going
Yeah.
to attract Braca to the concert, or we have to extract Braca.
You need to extract him. Yes, he is not your target to kill. He's your target to free.
Okay. This is not good. This is not good at all.
Well, here's a question: do we know where Braca is?
He's supposed to be coming to the concert. That's the
For entertainment.
Okay.
For entertainment. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So without Drew, there's not going to be a concert. So Dr. Palia is going to run down the hallway to probably Trilubi's room. Luby?
Cool. And I think Luby is doing some vocal exercises and going up and down the scales because she likes to think that at some point she's going to be doing some background singing, even though really she's a red ball jet organ player. Yes. She whirls around a bit. And you see there's that 3 mirror thing where she was checking herself out.
First, that's not the costume that we agreed upon for the opening. But second of all, I have not seen Drew.
Really? I thought he was in his room.
His room is empty.
Oh. Well, have you looked in the observation suite? He likes to go there to think and work on his music.
I have not.
Then, do you need me to show you where the observation suite is?
Yes.
Little mouth kind of comes forward as she whispers the words. She will amble over, wraps her spindly arm in yours, and will guide you down the hallway. And well, check in. Are we interested in a where is Drew bit of plot, or shall we just find Drew exactly where?
I'm okay if we just find Drew. I just wanted a little bit of
I like
there
it
at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, so you find Drew. He's sitting on a what looks like a beanbag chair, but obviously it's made to look Star Warsy somehow. And he has this little what was that? It's like a flute, right? Drew played a flute. So you hear the music of the flute coming in as you're heading down the hallway, and you see that the observation area is pretty much just a converted bubble turret where they've yanked out the gun, and he just sits there on his little beanbag chair and looks out, and he's looking at the sky because they parked this giant space van where he could still see that, and he's playing a little bit of music, working out, and he stops. And he plays a couple more chords. It's like he's working through something. What do you do?
So Drew, we don't have a whole lot left in the cycle before the concert. So I kind of need to get into costume.
So Steven, do you want to step in as Drew?
Sure. I don't remember much about Drew, but
I know, I don't either.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, he was kind of local boy done good, rocker, hardworking musician who was also a big name athlete at one point.
Got caught up in the oh my goodness, with the Hut and the cartel. Yeah.
And I think Drew says, well, I need more inspiration. And the observation deck usually does this for me, but maybe I should go out among the people. And kind of gets up and acts like he's going to leave and go out and, see things.
That'll work. It's no problem. I'm going to
Grabs
go
the.
back and change into my right outfit.
Thank you, Luby. Grabs her Mel.
And I think Drew actually is walking like past the stage, like he's going to exit and go out about. Yeah.
Mel, Drew is looking to go out amongst the public. Do you want to stop?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, right. Mel isn't here right now, or is Mel here observing our? Sorry, not Mel. Drew. Is Drew like
Well, Drew's like
observing
making
our
his way across
conversation?
the stage where I'm assuming you're like offloading the druggie. So one more thing for Mel to deal with.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, we can't have that. We need the concert to go forward smoothly. Just try to discourage it.
Okay. And I think Dr. Polly is just going to run behind Drew and like try to stop him, but I don't think she's very successful. And we get out amongst the public now.
Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Dang it. Once per session. Awesome. There are hundreds of people arriving now, all streaming down to get good seats at the bowl as Gar and Merca are doing sound checks and stuff, and people are starting to get excited as there's a sound check and then there's some fill music going on. So it's obviously a very heavy festival atmosphere, and Drew starts walking about. People are excited, right? The crowds start compressing in to get closer to Drew as he manages his way through. Steven, do you imagine Drew's the kind of person who just will stop and talk to people, or does he just kind of keep moving through and do lots of like, hey, how are you, as he heads towards whatever will inspire him?
I think he is, and he's singular minded at this point. Like he needs to experience life. So I think he kind of ducks his head and he does that whole, avoiding the press kind of thing, and almost does what, a blocking run to get away from everybody and get out, where he can cause some trouble and, experience life.
Oh no, you're looking to
Should have given his
escape.
costume a hood so he could be, Star Wars, where you put on a hood and you
That's all you need.
disappear.
Yeah,
Yes.
That would be even great. What if, Dr. Polya is like carrying the cloak with the hood like behind, like.
I love it. Wait.
Awesome.
Put this on.
Then, Dr. Polya, it seems like Drew wants to disappear. Are you willing to make that happen, or are you trying to sabotage this effort?
I think I'm trying to. Yeah, my intention, right? The intention system here.
Mm-hmm.
My intention is to give Drew some experience with life, right? He wants to experience life that is so just give him enough that he feels like he did something, and then he'll get back on stage, right? Like, let's do, like, I'm gonna take him to the roasted pork shack because like that's what the average person does, right? I'm gonna give him like the bad meal. Take him to McDonald's. Here it is. This is what life is like. Let's get back on stage.
Nice. Cool. We'll work back into that.
Sure.
I am curious. Mel and Lon, let's just say that Mel, Lon, and Clank, the three of you, are near each other. You've shared the information that Dr. Polya has taken Drew off, and the show can't officially begin until that happens. I think, Mel, you are the one who notices a unit or stormtroopers that are escorting an Imperial dignitary, and with the hangers on, you see that your target, Braca Weiss, is with them. What do you do?
I think she like, for the benefit of the audience, like points out 3 o'clock. There's our target, and like the camera zooms in on this person.
Nice.
So
So remind me again, we need to get this guy to safety, right?
Yes.
And he's willing to get to safety. We don't have to
He has,
smash.
yeah, your setup is that he had reached out, and in fact that his attempt to reach out means that he's now under more guard than he would have been otherwise.
there's more Imperials here than we were told. This is going to be tricky.
We could put out that since Drew isn't here, we could put out that he has disguised himself as a stormtrooper. That's rather, I mean, he has a head. He's not. We could do that and get some of the people to swarm the stormtroopers and try to discover which one of them is Drew. I mean, we have a lot of people here that can cause a distraction for us, so we don't have to do it ourselves.
I think you can, maybe you can pull that off. I could even convince lone Imperial to stay out of here. So
well, it was easy to you convinced him to take a drug, and that wasn't good for him. So that was pretty good for him. That was pretty good.
Well, we don't want these people on drugs. I don't think.
No, we don't. We don't want the stormtroopers to be swarmed with people who think one of them might be Drew. Well, I'll just go over to one of the people who seem excited and a really big fan, and I will ask him and say, which one of these guys do you think Drew is? Because I heard he's dressed up as the stormtroopers experience life. You know, I think one of them, I think it's the little one over there.
Okay, it sounds as if you are using some drama here your intent is to create a distraction.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. I think that the Imperials normally would be more of an obstacle, but because they do have to be at least somewhat genteel around the visitors and tourists, I'll say that it is a one die obstacle from those Imperials. If they had them off with them, it would be much, much worse.
Okay. But my drama is 1, so that equals out. So I would roll. How many dice do I roll with the flat?
Just 2d6. It's just 2d.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you like some help?
Yeah, I'm also looking at the spotlight stuff. What do I need to do?
Spotlight tokens. So you can spend a spotlight token to activate a background casting or descriptor. You also can use any of your SFX without having to spend a spotlight token. It's just a thing you can do.
Yeah, I don't know if I can use force sensitive on this one because I'm not doing this, and
sure.
But I think what I no, I don't think I have I'd like some help, please. Help seems nice.
Let me see if I can help by, I think with all the excitement where I hear that, something about our target's been located, and I hear part of the plan, I step up behind you and I say, well, droids would make a better security detail than stormtroopers, so why would they? It must be a disguise. Let me roll my help. That's just a flat 2d6.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Well, that's a 7.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, so that's
Okay.
1d, but I'm mixed up in the outcome. Good. And
Cool.
so basically, I think I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, droids would be a better security detail for an Imperial. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm rolling 3Ds, right?
So we started at flat. You just got help that gave you 1D mixed. So
Yep.
you're rolling 3D and keeping the best 2. Yes.
Nice.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm walking
no,
through it
it's
myself.
fine. It's fine. Thank you. That helps. So eh. Okay, 3Ds. Up. That's a 10. Yay!
Nice. So a 10 is
A success.
the character succeeds. Exciting. You just do the thing.
Yes.
People start rushing forward, pushing around some of the stormtroopers. You hear several like, "Hey, what are you doing? Back off! Back off! Hey!" And they're getting moved and certain. One person's trying to pull off some of their armor. A little bit of commotion is going on. Then one of the stormtroopers fires their blaster rifle in the air, which is causes a number of people to freak out. It's successful though. They are definitely distracted in this commotion. Let's cut to Dr. Polyakora. Your intent was to give them the full experience for Drew to get in touch with the people and be inspired.
So I think I've taken him to this is a big venue, right? And around every big venue, there's like the really busy high class bars, and there's the really kind of junky bars that have been there forever. And I've taken him to one of the dive bar restaurants. And I've insisted that he wear his hood. And it's like, because it's a dive, they've got like a jukebox there. And I'm like, here, pick a song. Pick a song from your childhood.
That's awesome. That sounds really cool. I feel like let's put this to a roll if you're able to.
Yeah, I think this is
inspire.
thought. I don't think any of my like bonuses or I don't know, is this adventure and it's just I'm just really bad at this.
So actually, one of your things is you're a university grad, right? It seems like you would know dive bars, right?
Hey,
I buy
okay.
that. I'd buy that for
okay,
sure.
Cool. All right. the Kaminoan dive bars. Imagine what that looks like.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a Canto Bite dive bar.
Literal
You're using
literal
Kamino.
dive bar. You have to dive to the Kaminoan bars. So I burn a spotlight token, right, to use those?
No, well, we're starting with thought, which means you have 2 die. Then you burn a spotlight token to give yourself another 2 die benefit. So you're effectively at
I'm at 4. Yep.
4. Mm-hmm. I think it's Canto Bite, and it's right near it's dive bars are hard to find. So I'll say that how dive bar-y this is a bit of your obstacle. So we'll say it's a 1 die obstacle because it's like a Disney dive bar.
Right. That's not actually a dive bar. It's just the mystique
Yeah, it's like a
that they've
pleasure
built
island
around
dive
it.
bar.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah. Ooh, it's rough and tumble, except all the people who are actually look dangerous are wearing
The
makeup.
floors are actually clean.
Floors are actually clean, and they specifically place certain detritus and the like.
Okay, so it's a 1 die challenge. I was at 4, which means it's
Yes, so
3
you're
dice,
to
which
3
means
die.
I'm rolling 5 and I'm taking the best 2.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
We're getting better at wrapping our minds
I'm-
around this.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Actually, I can name this, right? Dive bar. Hey, it's a little more seedy than we actually thought it was.
Turns out you found just the perfect alley. So Stephen, what does the song sound like? Because this from his like podunk small hometown, I imagine, unless he was able to get hold of some rarefied copy of music.
I think Drew walks over to the equivalent of a jukebox and he's kind of flipping through stuff. And what we hear is it's kind of the equivalent of like Star Wars country. It's a little bit twangy and all of that. And you hear, this sad song about, life and someone leaving them and everything. And he's like, yeah. And I think, Paulia, didn't you getting food?
Yeah, we're getting food, and I'm assuming it shows up like extremely greasy and not at all good.
And I think we're both like up at the bar, right? Amongst,
Okay.
the other
Yeah.
patrons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. And what do we see, Drew, once that music starts playing? You found this song he's probably not heard in a while.
So I think Drew actually starts to, eat this greasy food and drink something and starts to sway a little bit with the music and leans over to the patron on the other side of him and, chats them up and everything and, just what's the right word? Seems to come out of his shell a little bit at that point. Seems to be a little bit more friendly.
Then I think just to put a button on it and get us back to the venue, Drew's having this really good time, and it's the song from his childhood, and then like a fight breaks out in the back of the bar, and it's one of the staged fights that happens every night because it is this Disney dive bar kind of thing, but Polya like plays it up. Oh, Drew, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. And gets them back to the venue really quick, like hails a speeder
Nice.
left or right, beep, 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 beep. And
oh yeah, you get like a little converted astromech droid like we saw in Mandalorian. Love
Yeah.
it. That's really cool.
I think
Sweet.
Drew drags along that patron, and whenever they pull up to the venue, like gives him like a front stage pass.
fantastic.
Yes. A commotion has been created. Braca Weiss, who is there along with other Imperials, seems to look around hopefully, but trying to conceal it. He's thinking maybe this is the moment. Now, let me check in with you guys because you realize Drew's about to perform. You've got the perfect setup to nab Weiss, but then you've got to sit on him or look for some other egress. Totally cool with that choice. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, if we get to have him, then we can lose him again. Hopefully we won't. But if we don't have him, then there's no chance of
It's true.
anything.
It's
I mean,
true.
we have the opportunity now, so let's go for it.
You've created that opportunity, and now you can take advantage of it. So Mel, Clank, and Lon, all of you are there as people are now on a Drew scavenger hunt, convinced that stormtroopers are. One of the stormtroopers is actually Drew. Who's going to step forward and try to snag Weiss away? There is still a 2-die obstacle of the stormtroopers. It would be worse, right, if you hadn't set them up in this manner.
I'm willing to get in there. I'm going to play to my sneaky thing here. So I think she just tries to, because I imagine her clothes kind of at least she looks like she's part of the crew, like the roadies, that sort of thing. So she looks kind of, she kind of blends in. She I think she makes a show of like pushing some of the fans back, like, oh, excuse me, we need to get you out of here if you'll just follow me. And then she tries to like lead the whole group of Imperials somewhere, but then just sneak off with our target, like pull him down a side corridor or something.
That sounds awesome. Your adventure's a 2. It's a 2 die obstacle, so you're at flat. Do you want to spend any spotlight tokens to activate Sneaky?
Help?
I would love to aid.
Yeah. You're
Cool. Aid first then, so I'll see, so we know
Okay.
where we stand.
Okay, I wanted to help, but sure you do it.
Oh, you're closer, Lon. So if you wanted to,
Yeah,
I was just gonna
I'm-
like quickly dress up
Oh, okay.
Drew as a stormtrooper.
Oh, nice, nice.
It's so we're so bad at avoiding
We're
cheese,
so bad.
friends.
Not
We
like-
are, yeah.
So
Perhaps we
bad.
shouldn't, because that would be cheese. I will step down.
Okay.
What I would do is like create more commotion. Like, I saw him over there. I saw him over there. Maybe he's the guy on the hill over there. Well, no, he isn't. Wait a minute. Damn it.
Nice. Okay.
Sorry, Talia.
Roll
Maybe
flat
it's
and
fair.
let's see if you give a benefit.
Mm-hmm. An 8. So I do,
Okay.
but I mess up in the
You're
whole
mixed
thing.
up in it and you get a 1. So you're currently sitting at straight 1D without spending any spotlight tokens. You are a perfect setup for Sneaky. If you want to spend a spotlight token, you can push yourself to 3D with that. Or +3.
+3, yeah. So currently I'm rolling 3, taking the 2 highest, and on I kind of need a 10 plus for a full success.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to spend the spotlight token on Sneaky.
You're rolling 5 dice, keeping the best 2.
Yeah, I'm considering how I rolled last time. I think it. Well, that's an 11. So yeah.
Nice. I'm curious, Clank, as you see Mel and Lon, you're wrapped up in it. So the 3 of you, because Weiss is with you, as they start absconding, Clank, what do you do?
I think I'm gonna step up and grab. I'm gonna step up with the stormtroopers that are there and grab one of their weapons and say, "I'll keep the crowds off of you," and start firing in the air and start pushing the crowds back as crowd control. Just to aid to that distraction, so they don't even notice Vice getting away.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll to help. It's just, I just want to see from overall. Excellent. So Clank, you're in the middle of a bunch of stormtroopers. Lon and Mel, the 2 of you, have pulled Brocco Weiss. You guys have seen the picture of him, hopefully on the NPCs tab. He looks between the 2 of you. You don't look Imperial.
Sorry, he says that to me.
Yeah, he says it to the 2 of you. Are you with the crew?
We're here to get you out.
Oh, thank the Force. Where's the getaway vehicle?
We're working on that.
Awesome. Working on it. You don't have a way to leave? Oh.
Chill out. It's a concert. Enjoy the show. We got this. We're professionals.
That's great. Dr. Polyakora, you arrive back with Drew. You see that there is a bit of a commotion near the front of the stage where a bunch of people are tussling with stormtroopers. At this point, a few of them have been stuck in binders as the stormtroopers have decided to just assert their authority. And Clank, you're mixed up in it, but you can extract yourself at whatever point. You do have a blaster rifle on you as Dr. Polyakora and Drew, the star, arrive. So all the people who were accosting stormtroopers realize that it was not true. So what do the two of you do?
Polly like just pushes him out on stage, like it's already there's already a fight. Like, we gotta get this show going. And just runs over to the comms and is like, "Here we go!" And calls up the first cues for the show and gets the band going. Hopefully. If we want to put it to a roll of, can I get all of them on stage?
Trying to get all of the band on stage?
Yes.
Okay, good. For a second, my brain heard getting all the stormtroopers on stage, and
No.
I was like,
No.
that can't be what you mean. So cool. No, I think that's good. I think that happens. Now that Drew's been inspired, I'm not going to put any more blocks to him getting up on stage and trying to calm things down with the stormtroopers and starting the show. People press forward, and there are some people who are they're hauled away in binders. They are in trouble because it's the Empire, so not everything's sensible. So, yeah, you, Lon and Mel, have Braca Vice. Where are you going? This place, you see, there are cameras everywhere. Canto Bight is always under some kind of surveillance. It's dangerous where you are, and there are lots of people around. Everything's clean. There are lots of droids that are like sweeping up any bits of detritus. It's because a lot of the folks who are here, they'll like eat and they just drop a wrapper on the ground. They don't care. Someone's here to take. There are people who take care of that.
So we need to get out of here. And I think do they still have these racing stables?
Of course they do.
Huh?
It's many years from now when there will be problems with the space horses. I can't remember what they were called. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Something with an F.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe we can use those to get out.
Well, they could get us out of here, but we need to get off world.
I mean, we got here somehow.
I'm not riding a fathier, thank you very much, he says.
You're not okay.
Those things are gigantic. I will be quashed.
If you're riding them, you won't be quashed. So
3 meters at the shoulder. I will be thrown clear and then stomped upon.
They're very gentle beasts.
Well, we kind of need them to run, so maybe just. I'm sure there's a ship we can slice if we go down to the. You're a slicer, right? You can get us into a ship.
Of course I can.
See that?
Yeah. So down to hangar deck and
Okay.
As if I'm going to my own escape.
Oh no, we'll fly. You just need to get us into the ship.
We'll get you to the ship, you get us into the ship, and then we'll get you out of this world.
All right. It's just a pair of you then?
Maybe there are a few more. You'll meet them.
All right. I'm hating this even more and more, he says as he
Well, we can. You can go back to your friends if you prefer.
No friends with the stormtroopers.
Pretty sure the Empire wouldn't mind that you tried to escape and then came back. They'll see that you're loyal then. I pat his shoulder. Or not. Come on, I'm joking. We'll get you out of here. Don't worry.
Mm,
I can give you something
grumbles.
to can give you a little something to help with the worry if you think that'll help.
Can we not drug the escapee until after he sliced us into the ship?
I see that we are hitting the dial of recurring. Good job. Sweet. I'm interested in like jumping ahead a little bit, like smash cutting ahead. Clank and Dr. Cora, once Drew and the experience start playing, you're free to try to meet back up with the group. So, Clank, where is it that the four of you plus Braca Vice meet up? Where are they sitting on someone, or where have they agreed to meet with you for the five of you to get together again?
I think we're going to head right outside the right word, the garage, basically, where a lot of the speeders and maybe other ships would be.
Oh,
docked.
near the bowl, like the Canto Bite bowl there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of speeders there, some speeder bikes, but they're all like polished, gleaming chrome. And Mel and Lon are there, and we have the aforementioned hood that Braca Vice is wearing. It's all you need in Star Wars. It really is. It's amazing. So we're going to steal a speeder and take that to a ship, he says, as Clank and Dr. Cora come up, and he sees Clank and he starts to get nervous and steps behind you, Mel. Do we want to pause before we jump into this scene and take our mid-game break? I noticed somebody wanted to warm up some food.
that works for
Cool.
me.
Let's do that.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So everyone meets up together at the garage. Braca Vice seems a little intimidated by the arrival of Clank. Dr. Cora, what is it that sticks out about the sleek Imperial vehicle that you recognize as Moff Lurgos?
So she has this thing for like matte black to the point where it just seems to absorb all of the light around it. So it's this incredibly stealthed looking luxury speeder.
Blacker than black.
Yeah. It's like a Vanta black speeder.
Nice.
And as soon as as soon as Cora sees it, she gets that, what she was casted for, the 1,000-yard stare.
Nice. Nice. I like it. Is T with you, or are we in trouble? He asks you, Mel, looking at Clank.
Don't worry, he's with us.
I think whenever he looks at me, I turn around and look behind me.
Oh, you reprogrammed an Imperial droid. My respect for you has grown a little.
I think he kind of programmed himself. So
I could look over his code to make sure that it's...
don't suggest that. Don't suggest that. Okay, he's on our side so far. Don't try to look at his code in a way that he doesn't like.
Talia snaps out and goes, "We don't have a whole lot of time. Is he going to come?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we knocking him out?
No, we're not. He's got to slice this vehicle for us.
Yes, because you don't even have an exit strategy.
You are the exit strategy.
That's our exit strategy. You slice the vehicle, we fly the vehicle out. It's fine, worked last time. kind of.
It's awesome. Rich is laughing. He's not laughing. So Braca will arch a finely manicured brow, the two of you. And that's when we hear the scream of a pair of Imperial speeder bikes heading towards the garage. He flinches and will try to get out of sight as a couple of scout bike troopers into the garage. You guys duck out and make your way. Are we heading to the starport? Or do we go back to the bowl and take that ship, though it does look a little suspect?
Sorry, just clarifying. I thought we were stealing Moff Lurgo's speeder.
Oh, shoot, you
Yeah.
are. Okay, cool. So that's
Okay.
awesome, and I like that. I misunderstood, and I apologize. Awesome. So a pair of Imperial speeder bikes are coming as you guys are making your way to Moff Lurgo's speeder. They come in, and it looks like they're just doing that cop thing of like trolling along the garage to make sure there are no ruffians here. How is it that Lawn Alpha plays cool?
I'm always cool. I mean, I'm just I think what I'm doing here is I am looking over my my medical supplies. That's what I'm doing. Looking them over, checking them out, doing something that looks like I am actually performing a real checkup on what I've got. I do not look like a ruffian, I think. And I will maybe pull a bit on the force just to seem inconspicuous.
Ooh,
Right?
that
Like-
sounds like risky. I love that intention.
Not-
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's say that we've got a pair of Imperials who are looking
Mhm.
for trouble. That'll be a a 3-die obstacle. It's
Wow.
challenging. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Well,
of
there was this
obstacles.
thing, this hubbub at the bowl just recently.
yeah,
People were
right.
attacking stormtroopers. They're on alert. So
Oh,
a
damn it.
3-die obstacle.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
sounds like you're being. Are you adventuring here? What do you think? What's your?
I think I'm being dramatic. I'm being defiant, actually.
Ooh, okay.
I
So
want
cool.
to defy these stormtroopers, kind of
So that
thing.
starts at 1 die. So you're now at a plus or a minus 2d.
Mhm.
You're at a
Yeah.
minus 2.
Okay. I'm at -2. I will use my SFX force sensitive.
Okay, that gives you gets you to flat. You're sitting at a 0. So we'll put the check mark there.
And I will
Good
use
stuff.
a spotlight token to use my defiant characteristic, right? I can do that.
You certainly can.
Cool.
That gets you to a plus 2.
Okay. Okay. I'll just accept that. I did not follow the math. Should I just roll?
Yeah, I'm getting okay at following this math, so I'm feeling good.
Okay. How many dice do I roll?
You're rolling 4d
Okay.
and keeping the best 2.
Okay. See how that goes. Yep, it's a 9.
Wow.
Mhm. So
Sorry, I just now doing a count. If I were doing the actual countdown thing, we would be sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 dice. We've made 9 die rolls.
okay.
Sorry, it just amazes me the
I mean,
idea
that
that
would just be 3 more dice and we would be at the 12, right?
yes, the first 12.
The first one. Okay. We need more dice. We need more dice, friends.
Okay, cool. That is a mighty fine roll at a 9 mixed success. So this is awesome. You have a choice. You can fail and empower a different character, giving them a plus 2d benefit on their next roll. Or you can succeed, but by doing so, you will hinder a different character and they will have a minus 2d on their next roll.
Okay. So if I succeed, they will think I'm harmless, right?
Correct.
But they might think one of the other guys here is not harmless. And that would be a -5 obstacle for them. No, you know what? I think I'll fail at the whole. I'm not that good at mind controlling, right? I'm not force trained or anything, but I will empower one of the others to to talk us basically out of it. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. Who should I empower to talk us out of this? I think it's either Mel or Palia. And I think who's our face? Me, okay. Yeah, well, I think I'd empower maybe Palia because she's a doctor and I tend to trust medical people a little more than others. And also I know that Understudy was a little under the weather and maybe don't want to put the pressure on him. That's fine. Yeah. So I'm going with Palia.
No, I like it. So you're sort of influencing them and empowering me with the a little insight, right? And I think that shows up as Palia remembering that the character I created, Maflergo, that she does have like a medical condition. Like Palia was doing things for her, and also on top of being the crime scene cleaner, she was also like her personal doctor, and that these speeder bike scout troopers are like delivery people for the medicine that she needs.
Ooh, that's awesome. I like that.
So Palia is going to very quickly it's the 70s action show, right? So like the very quick costume change. And she passes her credentials over to our hacker.
What's going on here? Who are you?
I'm the medical liaison. You have the medicine. You have her medicine?
No. Whose medicine?
Maflurko's. But I'm I'm taken aback. You came all this way without the medicine?
All right, who are you? Show us your credentials. Where's your ID?
I don't have time for this. Do you have the medicine or not?
I think we have now reached the point where we're going to hit a roll. So
yeah, and I think this is drama. I don't think I'm very good at those.
I think you are right, and I think it is gonna go great. 3 die. They're on high alert.
3 die
someone
challenge.
just
Okay.
failed to use the Jedi against them. So
no, I love it.
I think one of them poked you a couple times, Dr. Cora. Like they poked your shoulder. Show us an ID. And the other one has this like little rinky-dink pistol out, because the scout bike troopers' pistols are so small.
Yeah. So she's gonna pull at, because you can use the SFX, right? So I just burn an SFX to use one of my items.
Correct. You can burn an SFX, which doesn't cost a spotlight token. You just use it up for the episode.
So that will give me +2. I'm going to pull out my data pad, which has she very quickly changes it from the tour schedule to, or actually maybe it just is the tour schedule, and she's just pointing at it rapidly in their face, like you are late. And
okay, so we've gone from a -3 to a -1 for your data pad.
And then I will also use
you also get the +2 from my roll before.
That's true. So that flips you to a +1. Thank you very much for that reminder.
And I'm going to lean into my casting too. I think I have to burn a spotlight token for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you do need to burn it. That will push you to a +3.
That's a +3, and this is the younger than written, right? So she's she's being very forthright with them about, what do you mean you don't have the medicine? Because this is the Force Insight, you were supposed to bring the medicine. You need to go back right now. We don't have a whole lot of time. All right, so we're now from a -3 to a +3, which means I'm rolling 5 and taking the top 2.
Correct.
Here we go. I'm going to change this to, where is the medicine? Ooh, squeak by. It's a 10.
Ooh, excellent. So you flip it around on them. There's a pregnant pause as the two scout bike troopers look at each other, and then one says,
I do think she has some medicine.
and the other one takes a look at your credentials to at least cover that, like he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. But after he sees the data pad, reads it enough of what you flash to him that he becomes a little more conciliatory.
Yes, how can we assist you?
Well, you can return right now and get the medicine and be back here within the hour.
All right.
And they hop back on their speed bikes and zoom away. That was stressful, Braca says.
We're professionals, I told you.
Have you hacked that thing yet?
Wasn't going to hack it while you were arguing with them. No, I haven't. Not yet. I'm working on it now. He reaches and starts pulling out some wires and starts working to hack the limousine. And the speeder is unlocked. He is quite good. See? Who's driving? I can't drive.
I'm driving with like one arm in a sling.
He gets in the back. He's going to ignore Clank because, he's ignoring Clank. He'll ask Dr. Cora, or actually, who gets in the back seat with him and who gets shotgun?
Well, I think Clank took shotgun last time when we crashed. Is that correct?
Probably, yeah.
So Polya will take shotgun.
So, Lon, you're
contained.
You're in the back with Braca, and he says, "She only has one good arm. Are you entirely sure this is a good idea? You look like you would be a good driver."
To me?
Yes,
I'm a medical professional. I'm not a good driver. She can do this. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
So, Mel, you start this thing up, and it's a whisper.
And I'm really frozen.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I'm not
back.
frozen anymore. I will offer him a sedative to help him with stress because I've been taking that same sedative right now.
Well, it's a
Which I won't
70s
tell him.
sci-fi show, so he'll pop a loogie? I don't know. It's Luz. Dang it, what were those things called? It starts with an L. Anyway, Mel, this thing, when it starts up, it just lifts gently, like God's hands are holding you aloft. The engine just purrs. It rumbles just enough to make your feet joyous, like they want to dance. You've never quite driven or flown anything like this totally luxe Sith black speeder. Where are you taking everyone?
Where?
Yeah.
To the hangar. I mean, there must be a place where they're parking their ships and that sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a spaceport. So yeah, you're gonna zip away from the bowl, and the bowl is of course near downtown, so there are beautiful spires and shopping districts and all the connected walkways and the like, and zoom away, passing by like an ATST. This clonking. We've got six SFX. I can do that. Just do it. I can just do it. Or maybe I didn't do it and then I CGI'd it in later. We don't know. And then you head
Not in the
out.
70s, you didn't.
Oh, the 70s style, darn it. You're right. No, actually, I like have a little. I like. I don't know how they did it, but there's no green screen. Anyway, we have the little micro machine ATST, and yeah, you never have a ship of your own. Why would you have your own ship? You aren't worthy of such things. So you make your way out to the outskirts of town to the other oasis that is the beautiful Starport, with a number of luxury liners that are coming in. We even recognize, the clever eyes might recognize one of the luxury liners in the exact same style as the one from our pilot. But it obviously isn't the same one. I mean, they wouldn't reuse it, would they? We're not taking a luxury liner. We're actually going to have a legitimate ship, right?
Much as I would love to drive one of those, we need something more discreet.
Yeah, but there's probably a supplier section of this port, right, where they bring in stuff.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So we can take a cargo ship out of here that's leaving anyway, maybe an automated one. Maybe
Ooh.
Clank can talk to his droid brethren, and I think he has a message for them anyway.
Sure, that sounds great.
I'm into that idea. So there are all these like beautiful luxury liners, humongous ships, transports, shuttles that are supremely beautiful, hyper expensive, and very, very noticeable. And then, yeah, do Mel kind of troll, and not far away from the glitzy, glamorous part of the starport is the section where you just have automated cargoes. I'm totally thinking the Obi-Wan, that automated. And I'm pretty sure that's where you guys were leaning. So I'm right there with you, because I loved that. I thought that was such a cool addition to the galaxy. Clank, what do we get from Clank as you see that we're entering the droid ghetto area, where you're just surrounded by a bunch of non-imperial droids that are here doing their work that they're programmed to do, load lifters, astromechs, and the like.
So I think that Clank gets more agitated as he's walking along. Basically as we're walking up, through this area, and I see more and more of the heavy lifting literally being done by, the droids. And basically I turn around and I think I'm a little bit more rough with the rest of the group than I need to be. And I think I turn to Braca and I tell Braca, strip.
What?
Your clothes, take them off.
He looks nervously over at you, Lon.
Back why? Explain.
Imperials often embed trackers, and we need to make sure that he's clean before we head out, or they'll be on top of us before we leave orbit.
Makes sense.
We're a bunch of doctors, really. So
And are you guys like, you have this guy drop trowel like in the middle of several cargo ships and the like? Yeah, he's a little nervous about this. But here's little 70s saxophone playing as he strips down.
I hand him a jacket or something, so I can show off my own.
Nice. There we
Physique.
go. And now the music goes up a notch because Lon Alpa was cast for. Let's see here.
He's athletic, so
Yeah, I like it. Sweet. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna like. I don't think that comes to a role. It's just a little bit of an indignity that he has. But I am curious to see if he is. The intention is here is to make sure that you won't be followed. So who would like to lead the role? I think the obstacle is there actually a bug of some kind, or are you being tracked? We'll call the obstacle a -2 obstacle. Rich, get the math right.
I'm I'm good doing that one. As it's like it would be like medically embedded, I would think, right? Is that what you were going for, Stephen?
Oh, it doesn't matter if you say
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Yes. I mean, you
Yeah,
probably
and
need to make sure he doesn't have a tracker put in him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we should lean into the what you were looking for, Rich, the sort of the history of Cora as a crime scene cleaner. And she's removed these from bodies before.
Oh, sweet.
So I will use my this is thought for sure. And I'm sorry, I can never remember. Do I need to use a spotlight token to highlight my thingies?
Yes, the only thing that you get free of charge is SFX.
Okay, that makes it easier to remember. Okay. Yeah, and I've established that. So we're gonna run out of spotlight.
I love it.
So that gives me 4. You said it was a -3?
It started at a -2.
-2. Okay, so
Yeah,
now we're at a
-2.
+2. I think I'm good with that. So this she starts to check him over. And it's very clinical, right? She's just moving his head, and she gets out a little scanner, and let's see if he's got I guess we should. A success is that he doesn't have one, and
A success is that
I detect one if there is one. Okay.
Honestly, here's what I think. Tell me if this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
A failure is that there's a bug you'll have to remove via surgery, which could be dangerous. A success is that either it's something you can remove or he's clean.
How about this? A success is that we found it before it becomes a problem. A failure is it's already a problem.
I like that better. That is good. Very good.
All right. We found it in time. Okay, so tracker? Question mark? For taking the best 2. 9.
A 9.
we didn't define what the mixed success was.
I know. That's of course what you need to roll. Okay.
Yeah, but that means you choose, right? Whether you succeed or not.
Yep.
Okay. And then we hinder. Ooh. So what does that look like? So so we succeed. And so we find the tracker before they've activated it. We got here in time before they realized that, like, in that commotion, he didn't just go to the bathroom. He's like really gone from the venue. So we found the tracker first. But yeah, we have an obstacle for a different character, or just in general for the next role. There's an obstacle. I guess.
On the other hand, we could say it's a failure. The tracker has gone off, but the one who's trying to take it out gets a bonus of 2 dice. That might be the fail success.
That's true.
Thing.
I like that more. It's gone off, and we've got to get it out now. But we have a good fix on it.
Yeah, and I have a med kit, so just saying. I don't know if I can use that to help.
I think so. I think if you give your med kit over, that seems
okay.
This is the other side of the Star Wars medical you never see. They just throw people in Bacta. This is it's got to come out. It's got to come out now. Let me just quickly check our lines and fails. Okay.
While
so
you
we're
do
not
that,
gonna,
I think Clank is dryly going to step up and pull out like a blade and say, which limb needs to be removed.
Clank.
None.
Yeah.
And Cora looks around real quick at all of these collected droids, right? But not a single one of them is medical droid.
Of course not.
Normally I have an assistant.
Okay, I assist you. I'm a nurse and I have this med kit, so
I know.
Awesome. So
I'm
just
not a
to make
droid,
sure that
so-
we're all on the same page, I think it's basically sounding at this point, right? It's a problem. You need to remove it. From a scope perspective or a setting perspective, I'm thinking that you guys have moved into a cargo ship of some kind, like pulled him off the main.
Well, we don't want to get into
area,
a
or do
cargo
you want-
ship now because now they know, right?
That's true.
There's
That's
a
true.
tracker on
Okay,
it.
makes sense.
So
So you're
I
just
think we're
doing
going
this
back
in between a
into
bunch of crates, or
Yeah, why not? It's dangerous. So we get like the beep 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 and like, Lon, knock him out.
Awesome. And I think he, of course, objects. And just to amp the danger, this thing is not only attached to his spinal cord, but it also, if you remove it wrong, it has an explosive attached.
Oh, okay.
And that is why I say it's a -3 obstacle.
I did the last roll, so I think we should frame this as Lon and I'm assisting.
Yeah, probably have to, because you have to give the +2 to a different character. You
Right.
can't take it for yourself. I think that's what the rules say, but
It does say,
willing?
yeah, you give it to
Okay.
someone else, and I
Okay.
love that. So let's
Mhm.
definitely do that thing.
yeah.
Do we count that as just I've already helped? That's my help.
Sure, yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
I mean, you could still help if you want to. I think.
I probably need to, because I think this is a reason roll, and that's not what I'm good at. Not what I'm good at. I'm too impatient. Somebody needs to explain to me
That's a
that
character
no,
growth moment.
no, just stabbing him with the thing that Clank brought is probably a bad idea. Yeah, no, okay, but I've got a med kit. So you said the obstacle was 3, right?
Yeah, it's a minus. Sorry,
Yeah, it's
-3
-3.
obstacle.
Okay, so we have +2 from the fail before, so we're at -1. I will use my med kit, so I'm at +1. But I have a -1 in thought, so I'm flat. I could use some help here, please.
I think there's an obvious case for me helping, but I'm curious if anyone else wanted to. Okay.
Oh, I think because I mean we were Imperials, so we probably maybe, or at least I had this kind of tracker because I was a pilot and I was a thing. So
Right.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
so it's like I described in graphic detail how they removed mine. Like, yeah, they cut me open here. It was
Nice.
They said they had to go in this way because otherwise it will trigger the explosive.
Oh, cool. Love it.
So
That's
I'm
great.
rolling flat.
You roll flat.
Oh no,
6, so that's bad.
that's bad. That gives me back. That creates 2 more obstacle thingies. So
It's actually a fail on help is just a -1.
oh, okay, then
Obstacle.
I'm at -1. Can I pull a spotlight token to use my background as an Imperial nurse?
Of course you
Because-
can. It's the perfect opportunity for that.
Yeah, okay. Because I realize what I'm doing wrong after Mel has explained something. Because I realized, yes, this is for a pilot, and this guy is not a pilot. This is Slicer. So yeah, Wow. So I'm rolling, still rolling flat. That's still not great.
No, pretty great for me for drama.
Aren't you at +1?
Am I? Oh, for using the background. You're right. I'm a +1.
That's
So
true.
I'll
That flips it
get to
a
roll
+1.
3 dice, right?
3 dice, keep the best 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay, see how that goes. Goes perfectly.
Man, I imagine you guys like have to cut in. We cut away a few times. We see just like the scalpel and the line of blood thing, and then we cut away, and then maybe there's some kind of grabber thing, and you guys have to deactivate the device before it blows up, and then boom, you come out, and there's little bits of red there that let us know that it was from inside the body. Yeah, hey. Beaker
And I think
loves me now because the pizza's
Clank
here.
picks up the package and
you.
the tracker and kind of wraps it up and steps over to one of the cargo ships and just, drops it inside, sees the door spiral close and steps back and says, "We need to find a ride."
That's awesome. Cool. You suture him up and put some back to on. He's out. We now have hit our recurring dial of you always knocking out your distraction targets. It's great. What do you want to do?
I think it's time to find an automated ship to get on.
Yeah, I think so too. And of course, oh no, there's a part of me that like wants to say it just happens so we could have a couple of like closing scenes. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we are
So-
supposed to hit a debrief too, right? So
Right.
Yep.
I wonder if Clank has to give some sort of speech to the droids that automate the ship.
I think that's part of the
sounds
thing we
fun.
see is we all get on this automated ship, and there's a couple of loader droids who come in and kind of collapse down, and I think what we see is Clank starts to give this speech, and I think the humans all kind of stuff their ears with earplugs. They're like, "We've heard this 1,000 times."
Is this a like droid freedom speech?
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. Do you want to take this to a roll to see if they buy in? See if you can get some recruits to the cause?
I don't think so. I think this is at this point, it's more the story about personalities going on here. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Then it happens. The ship takes off. It's not comfortable. There are no places designated to sit. There are no seat belts because it's only supposed to be for a bunch of droids. So there's just this open area where all of you are. And I'm curious, who cares for the patient, right? He's very helpless here as the ship's rattling and everything.
I'm a nurse. I mean, it's basically my job.
Nice. Is this thing where does Lon care for his patients, or is Lon just going through the motions and this is what you do?
I think Lon cares at least a little, but right now he's on a downward spiral from the drugs, so he's a little out of it, like impatient and like a little down. And also, we're on a ship; it rattles. It's an automated ship, so we could draw. He will pester Mel with questions if we are. If all right, is this gonna crash now?
We're fine. I'm sure we're fine.
That's what you said last time.
Yeah, and here we are. We're fine. And she adjusts the sling. Like,
Mel, this thing is taking the safest, most boring route possible. It's actually just like popping onto a main thoroughfare. It's just going to take the most programmed, safe, slow route possible. I assume you let it go about its business?
Yeah, I think like Mel is, despite this being like not made for humans, she has somehow found a way to lay on her back with her feet up and her cap over her eyes and look like she's comfortable, and basically just taking a nap while everyone else is fretting about what's going on.
Nice. Love that. Anyone else want to have like a quick like shot of your character in travel before we jump ahead?
I think Dr. Palia has the, chain code essentially of the tracker, right? Because she scanned it, and it's the next one in sequence after the one she removed from the crime scene.
Oh, that's wicked. Oh, I love it.
I think we just see Clank in the background, and he's, squatting down to some of the loader droids and some of the mechanical droids, interacting with them. But it's kind of a background scene. Mhm.
Nice. Good. The ship eventually pops into hyperspace, and then when it comes out of hyperspace, we see there are several New Republic ships that are waiting. Some X-wings come out. We hear a little bit of victory music in the background, and then there's a quick like star wipe, and we get to have our first debriefing scene, which was one of the things we wanted to have as recurring, which means you're debriefing with your controller, who we haven't defined. Does anyone have a suggestion? Like, my first headcanon is to have it be. Well, the first thing I thought of was it being Hera Syndulla, but I don't know if she would handle a bunch of spies. I don't know.
Should be someone who's not human, at least.
Oh, yeah, non human. Yeah, we do have a whole lot of. Anyone have any spy ideas from previous Star Wars Saturdays, or shall we go with
Who was the Chiss in the All Imperials game?
Oh,
The Chiss handler.
yeah. Was that the Last Imperial Fleet game? Is that what you're thinking
Yes,
of?
Last
Okay.
Imperial Fleet. Yeah.
I'm pulling up the character keeper right now. We got a minute. We can. Chiss handler. We had. Was it Sorn? Former handler of Teg. Teg sold him out back then.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. I'll stick him in the NPCs tab.
Because Teg was secretly working for him the whole time, or was like programmed to.
I'm about to drop the pick in. That is not the pick of Sorn. I love this pick, so I'm very happy to have this guy in. There we go. He just looks very unhappy with the world. He's attached to the cartel. That's amazing. Cool. So Nebuline Class B frigate, because that's what I want to use, and I've got a sci-fi budget for it. It's a model because it's 70s style, but still. And then smash up to the four of you coming in because you've already handed off your target. And do we see Soren as a sitting at a desk guy, or a guy who stands at an observation area with the
Stands at an observation area,
yeah.
heavily backlit,
Yeah, I love that.
Kind of that Mass Effect person. I've never actually
Very.
played that particular Mass Effect game, but the backlit person in a chair, yeah.
Love it.
Right.
So he's backlit, he turns in his chair. Well, it seems you were successful with this extraction. Do you have any run-ins with Moff Lurgo?
We took their speeder.
You checked for trackers, correct?
The tracker was removed in the spaceport.
Good.
Cora very consciously does not mention that it was sequential with the previous one. She keeps that to herself.
Mel, you need to see to that arm. Get some Bacta, will you?
Yes. Okay, you insist.
Lon, anything to add to the report?
I might have slightly poisoned a cousin of Moff Lurgo.
Guess we'll call that a fringe benefit.
Hmm.
They make it?
Yeah. I don't know. It depends on how they treat him.
Do you mind telling me why?
He was endangering the success of the mission.
Huh. Clank, what impediments did you see in the mission that we can improve upon for future?
Well, of course, I regret that we were not able to free the automated systems as we that we used to escape. I think that the droids in the ship should have been given their choices, but I understand the need for not attracting attention. Other improvements might be not to be so public with our cover, simply because arriving with entertainers can be problematic and draw too much attention.
Understood. Any other feedback on your mission?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Any other feedback on your mission?
Our targets seem to be unreliable, and I question their wealth to the group, and since we seem to have to incapacitate them all the time, maybe we're being given more difficult targets than is justified? Are you certain that they are desirable?
And I'll pass that along.
You know, what would be really nice if we had a ship of our own. Just the extraction would be a lot easier if we didn't have to steal or appropriate ships for that. Just food for thought, I guess.
We have one session left. Do we want to put that to a roll to see if you guys can basically get yourselves a ship for your last mission?
So I noticed Mel has an experimental tie SFX on their sheet.
That's true that you've never been able to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
There's a TIE shuttle that's the TIE bomber, but the bomber part's chairs.
That's true. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And yeah, I would say let's put that to a roll.
Well, I think because you guys are disposable humanitarians, they don't want to give you anything that valuable. And they've thrown you into extractions who are problematic specifically. So I'm going to say this is a -4 obstacle.
Does anybody want to roll this? Because I've rolled a lot.
You're also the one who brought it up, so I
Okay. I also might be the one with drama to have actually.
Yes, and you're defiant, so I
And-
think you
and
should lean
just-
into it. I like
Yeah, we still have some spotlight left. I will not use the blaster with stun.
it.
Can I get some help, maybe? From our pilot, possibly?
I can help.
Sure. Like I will put forward arguments that if we had our own ship, we could have the transports would be more reliable. We wouldn't have to we wouldn't run into unexpected issues with ships we acquire on the job. It would mean we would be able to do our jobs better. So
Okay, roll flat.
actually help this time. Nope, that's a 6
No.
again. I'm
Wow!
terrible at helping.
I think maybe he responds with, "Aren't you the one who crashed the last ship you appropriated?"
Yes, that's exactly what his response is. That's great.
So we're at -5. I get a 1, so we're at -4. And I will use a spotlight token because I'm defiant. And we will be at -3, which I guess is, what I'll take. Because I can't roll successes
Wow,
all the time.
-3 is rolling 5 dice and adding the 2 lowest. Oh my goodness, I do not
Okay.
anticipate this going well.
Yep, it's a 2. Does not go well. Probably being a little too defiant here.
I'll pass it up the line, but I wouldn't hold my breath if I were you. The reason that your targets are difficult is that you are difficult. You are ex-Imperials. The New Republic has not decided if you are trustworthy yet. However, your last 2 missions have been successful against great odds. I feel rather confident that if you are able to pull off this last mission, we can get you a ship. Not yet. Dismissed. And he turns dramatically to face Illa that's in the backdrop behind, casting him in reds and purples. So, we good with that being our capper? Awesome. Good stuff. So, with that, there is no end of session mechanics. There's no advancement in this game either, which is kind of a bummer. But excuse me. So, let's do a quick round of stars and wishes, so we have a little bit of time to talk about Bad Batch after we end things up. So let's talk about wishes. We kick off with wishes so we can end with stars. Who'd like to express a wish or two?
Yeah, I just wish that I'm in a better condition next session, so we can have end on a
Yeah, I hope you feel
know.
better too.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't realize until just before like half an hour before we started, when I almost fell asleep on the couch. So.
That is not the best sign. Okay. Thank you, Andesh. Who's next with wishes?
I'll give a wish. It seemed like a lot of the session we were split apart. And I like seeing us back together where we can kind of play off of each other and everything like that. So yeah. I think they're at the end where we were, figuring out the ship and figuring out our escape. That was very good because we got to, depend on each other. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Don't bark at me. I've given you 4 pepperonis.
Oh,
Fine.
boy. Lucky Beaker.
Right? He's a 10-pound dog. He doesn't need this much. Now he's sitting pretty. Okay, any more wishes?
I have a wish. So we had a couple initial ideas, and I just honestly don't remember what the last one was that we haven't done. So I know we did Canto Bite. We did the just trying to figure out
Canto
which one.
Bite, which we'd called a casino heist, but I ended up going with a rock band idea, except
Right.
at Canto Bite. Space Cruiser, we did that,
Mm-hmm.
and Rock Band. So I kind of comboed Rock Band and Canto Bite.
Okay.
Those were
Those
we
were
hit them
good.
all.
So
We're free and clear.
free and clear. Yeah, I guess I don't really I don't have a
Okay.
wish right off the top of my head. I'll pass one along if I come up with something.
Okay, Sabine.
It's not a wish precisely, but it would be interesting to see what would happen if our targets were duplicitous and not like like Admiral Akbar said, it's a trap. Just saying, it doesn't have to happen, but that might be interesting to see if we can get out of it.
Interesting. That sounds fun. I like that.
So to shake up the things a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Shake up the pattern.
A little.
I like it.
It's a great thing for like the season finale. Like
I was gonna say, yeah,
And
season
then
finale
something.
energy for the next one. Yeah.
I'll put that as your wish. Sweet. Sabine, you went last with wishes. You get to go first with stars. What stars would you like to hand out?
All kinds of stars, because this is Star Wars. No, sorry. Yeah, dad jokes. Yeah. Anyway, so stars to all of you. I love the session. I love the characters. I love the way Flag was always so on target, like just charging ahead and doing stuff. And I loved. There was a scene that I loved with the crew. Yeah, the one in the dive bar. That was Palia, right? Yeah, dragging that through to the dive bar. That deserved a star. And also the arm in the sling that always kept popping up. I like callbacks like that. And yeah, and I love that we were on Canterbury. So stars for that. And I won't take any other stars because other people might have some that I don't.
Okay. Greg, what about you? What stars did you have?
I also enjoyed I'm the pilot with the sling. That was a great touch.
That was a cool touch. Yeah, I would agree.
And then a star to Steven for the just strip naked right now. You probably have a tracker thing. That was also like a really good scene, as you mentioned. Like what's when we were like coming together as a crew and we all kind of helped out to get the surgical removed, and really high stakes, rolling flat. Maybe they're just gonna explode.
That was dangerous.
And then I love that Lon's thing is that we always knock out the target, and then in the debrief you're like, why do we always have to knock out the target? which was excellent. I love it. Yeah.
That was a nice tilted comeback. I thought that was fun.
I guess Clank actually brought it up in the debrief, right? Yeah. But it's the thing, recurring thing. Why do we always do the recurring thing? I like it. A little self-awareness to the TV show.
Thank you, Greg. Steven, did you have any stars?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really fun session. I really enjoyed seeing everyone kind of do their own thing. Like, I liked the little interaction that we had at the very beginning with the cousin of the moth or whoever that was, and how everybody got to be gruff and like just leave me alone, and then it was like, what are we going to do now? That whole interaction was really neat. And I really enjoyed the doctoring and the I have to have patience and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was really good.
Cool. Thanks, Steven. Anish, I know you're low energy. Any stars that you have left?
This, like looking back at it, it feels like a TV episode. Like we had certain. It felt like the pacing worked as an episode with the various events, and we had some lighthearted bits, and then we had that tense bit with the tracker with the bomb, and the kind of denouement, I guess, with the going on the ship and the debrief. So yeah, I really like that we. I mean, even if that's a common structure for an RPG session as well, it was nice. Yeah.
Well, I'll say, for me, I'm really happy with the tweak we made for help. I love how much faster it is. There's a part of me that feels like rolling flat is too scary, but you guys all kept going in to help, which was cool. And it paid off. By law of dice averages, you generally are giving one die, but mixed in with it. And every once in a while, things get a little worse. But it's like the sting for a failure isn't so hard that I think it disincentivizes trying to help. So that's cool. So I mean, I can't remember if you were involved in it or not, but I definitely wanted some risk to help because we have so many games where you just help and good stuff always happens, and this was a neat twist on that. I liked seeing the mixed result. I think that giving a die benefit to somebody else or just straight out succeeding, but then at someone else's cost is interesting. And it's a very meta decision that we don't normally see in mixed results for PBTA stuff. I don't know
And
what's going on.
I'm
He's mad at me.
curious. I am curious about the mixed result. You know, who has narration rights? Is it that we say, okay, the next person to roll will have an obstacle or, a benefit, or do you choose? It's an interesting decision.
Yeah, it is. Like the game wants you to cede control of your character, and I think our tweak is interesting in that you're ceding a little bit of narration and also playing outside of what your character does because you, the player, are deciding to throw a benefit or a hindrance to somebody, which is cool. It's interesting. All right. With that, I think we will bring this session to a close. It'll be the season finale next week, and we'll finish things up. So thank you all so much for playing.